a new Netflix series made by many of the same minds behind Paatal Lok, you have my bloody attention. Intergenerational trauma seems to be the flavor of the season. But more than what we inherit, Kaura, created by Sudeep Sharma along with Gunjit Chopra and Diggy Sisodia, who also wrote the series, is about what we pass on. Who our parents make us, how they break us, and how they fail to see us. A young woman forced into a life, marriage and child she never wanted, lashing out and rebelling, leaving her young son scarred and neglected. A man forever ridiculed, overlooked and belittled by his father, going to violent extremes to get the approval and validation he so desperately craves. A pompous, stern father driven by pride, tradition and mardangi, whose approach to parenting involves fear, rage and routinely beating his son. I couldn't help but think of that piercing visual from Disney Plus Hotstar's School of Lies, of a chicken eating a fried egg that's been thrown on the floor, a parent literally pecking away at their own child. Curiously, that show was directed by Avinash Arun, who also co-directed Paatal Lok. In Kaura, shitty parents, and in particular shitty dads, and the scars they leave behind are explored through streaming's favourite genre, a crime drama. How else is society to learn its lessons and reflect on its own ugliness unless through the medium of a murder mystery, which seems to be everyone's syllabus of choice? The murder in question here is that of Paul, a British Indian NRI living in London on a trip to the small town of Jagrana in Punjab to get an arranged marriage. But on the night before his wedding, in a remote field, Paul is found dead, his neck slit and his best friend, a white dude named Liam, missing. What went down? What were they involved in? A 6-episode tapestry of fractured families, secrets, lies and skeletons gradually unravels. On the scene to investigate is Inspector Balbir Singh, played by a terrific Suvinder Vicky, along with his right hand and fellow officer Amarpal Garundi, played by Barun Sobti, like you've rarely seen him. After ages, I felt like I was watching Barun Sobti, the actor, again. Kaura has the same Paatal Lok style eerie, unsettling stillness, uplifted by Benedict Taylor and Naren Chandavarkar's haunting score. Director Randeep Jha and DOP Saurabh Monga create a bleak, aching atmosphere of despair. As we've seen before, this is a team of formidable storytellers. The writing is thoughtful, the craft beyond reproach, and the characters ugly and messy. These are tragic, fickle figures giving in to the worst human impulses of greed, lust, anger, and revenge. Through its incredibly effective, immersive 6 episodes, Kaura is also the rare series to earn its length, refusing to overstay its welcome. Creators Sudeep, Gunjit, and Diggy strike a delicate balance of plot and character between the investigation in the foreground and ugly humanity in the background. A winning combination of urgent storytelling with rich subtext, Kaura is a rare prestige drama that's also bloody bingeable. The casting by Nikita Grover and Casting Bay is no less impressive, with more sparkling performances than I can name. Saurav Khurana as Sakar, Vishal Handa as Paul, Manish Chaudhary as his frightening father, Steve, and excellent Varun Badola as his estranged brother. And then there's the case of Liam's mother Clara, played by none other than Rachel Shelley, also known as Elizabeth from Lagan, a delightful little piece of casting. But Kaura is driven by a glorious Suvinder Vicky, who shines as a broken father who's both fragile and flawed, haunted by the mistakes of his past. Kaura sees Sudeep Sharma return to Punjab after the terrific Udta Punjab. But unlike that film in which drugs take center stage, in Kaura, drugs are forever in the background, forever just outside the frame. The shadow of narcotics looms large over the show. Police cars have "Say No to Drugs" painted on them. Friends on a night out casually look for a dealer. Even the way the police choose to torture and interrogate a suspect who happens to be an addict is by refusing to give him his fix for days. As we see him scream in pain, his body convulse, his mind break. But instead, the essence of Kaura for me is violence. The impact of it, yes, but more so the casualness of it, the matter-of-factness of it. Brutality is but an afterthought. And not just at the hands of the police who hit first and ask questions later, but also the kind within our own homes. The only thing worse than on-screen violence left to our imagination is violence we don't have to imagine, the kind we see and have seen around us. The finest example of this comes in a harrowing, masterfully staged sequence where we see Steve chasing and beating his teenage son Paul through a house in London. We see Paul's mother desperately trying to protect her young son from the wrath of her husband. But as soon as someone threatens to call the authorities against Steve, she immediately switches track to protect her husband, caged by her own conditioning. It's a family matter, Steve barks as he drags his son away for further disciplining. While I'd be lying if I said I connected with and could make sense of every arc in Korra, the only place the show fell short for me was that, well told as it is, this is no longer a novel story. At this point, using a crime drama template to explore something deeper about family, trauma, and society feels almost overdone. Think School of Lies, The Hard, or Sudal. While no one does it quite as viscerally as Sudeep Sharma, I think we're just saturated with the conventions of the whodunit mystery as a device to explore social evils. What would have felt like a standout clutter-breaking series a few years ago, today feels like just a very good one. It also doesn't help that just last year, we saw the entirely forgettable Netflix series Cat, also set in Punjab, in which an identical-looking Survinder Vicky played a crooked cop. Nonetheless, Korra remains a triumph and undoubtedly one of Netflix India's finest to date. I particularly liked what the show says about aspiring to a better life. People desperate to escape their realities and surroundings in search of a better one overseas, only to realize that they haven't escaped their cages, merely passed them on. You can watch Korra on Netflix.